Good morning, my 341ers. It's been a little while since I've done a new Sturdivant report, and that's not unusual. When we have our midterm, it's kind of like a break in the action, so now we're going to get back into it, and I'm really excited about the things that we're going to be investigating over the last few weeks of the semester. But first of all, I'm really feeling this background, man. It's inspirational. Hey, I'm so glad to be back with you guys. I'm working through your assessment, your midterm, and you're doing great on it. It makes me feel good, and we're going to talk a lot about it next Wednesday. I'm sitting in our back bedroom, and it's kind of intense because, look, I'm in the sunshine, then out of the sunshine, so I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. I kind of feel like a lunar eclipse or something like that. But here's one thing I want you to do before next Wednesday. Now, we are going to rely a lot less on the textbook the last part of the class. But chapter 5 is a chapter that we're going to work our way through. And all I want you to do is just skim through it, man. Just skim through it. It's important because it talks about creating outstanding assessment questions. I mean, it's really important. But, I mean, it's just like kind of straightforward, blah, blah, blah. Just go ahead and skim through it so you have some awareness of what we're talking about in terms of creating great assessment prompts. And then the other thing that's coming up is I really, next Wednesday is one of my favorite classes of the whole semester because we are going to take my midterm assessment and dissect it and evaluate it. And if you have the courage as an educator to allow your students to help you become a better teacher and create better assessments, you will be a markedly better teacher. And emphasize this in your job interviews, how you're open to constructive criticism, and you want to include your students in that process. Based on what we do in class on Wednesday and the virtual discussion that we're going to have on Friday with a small group of students, we're going to base our Reflection 5, which is due on 3/31, the last day of the month. And so think about what we're doing on Wednesday. It's going to be what we do our Reflection 5 on. And you'll see in the Week 10 Hyperdoc that there's a resource there that I want you to master on rubrics, which is really important. Here's the problems with most rubrics. They're too long, they're too complicated, they're too detailed, and students just tune them out. We want our rubrics to be something that students are going to apply to their work in a self-evaluative, wow, that was hard to say, form. So we're going to work with some really interesting rubrics sources. I think you're going to like them. Last thing I want you to master is a little progress monitoring, RTI module. You can choose reading or math. This is going to be a big focus the last part of class. And finally, on Wednesday, I am going to explain field experience. I know that some of you have some questions about that. You're going to walk out of class on Wednesday saying, I got it. I know exactly what I have to do. And it's not due until the last day of class, but you need to not put this off. Start working on it piecemeal and we'll get through it together, but you cannot pass the class without doing the field experience, and you don't have to travel anywhere. More details on Wednesday.